And we're back for a second presentation that zooms out from housing on public space and greenery with two speakers from Prague, so we're getting locally, Martina and Barbora with huge smiles. Welcome on stage. It's all yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. My name is Martina Bauerová. This is Barbora Lišková, and we are both from Prague Institute for Planning and Development from Public Space Office, and we are going to talk a little bit about public space in the city and the greenery. So just a little bit about our background. Our institute is a contributory organization of the city, and we are part of Public Space Office, as I said before, and the office was established around 10 years ago as a part of City Detail Department. So what we are doing in our office, we are usually creating analysis, some strategic methodic documents. We are also commenting and making pronouncements on intended projects like public ones and also private ones. We are educating public, and we consider it as really important. So we are doing commented walks for children, for students, for normal public and so, and we are doing some lectures like this one. And above all, we are working on public design projects. It's starting from small pilot projects and it's to city-wide projects. And it means we are doing coordination, we are also designing, and we are doing competitions or competitive dialogues.
So in the beginning, we should ask ourselves what is public space. The public space is a space where it's typically owned by the public. It means by the state or by municipality. It should be something where you feel safe, where you feel included. So I said that public space is something like a living room of the city, where you can join and feel comfortable. So.
Just for a context of public space, we have many typologies of the city, so just few of them. The first one is old, spontaneous, usually old town of the city, like almost in every European city. The second one is city of blocks, typical for Barcelona and also for Davice and Letna in Prague. And the block city is from the beginning of 20th century, and also from this time is an idea of garden city. A lot of villas in gardens, and then we have modernist city, which means housing estate, very often in Eastern Europe from socialist era, but we have a few projects in France as well. In the end of 20th century, people started to create suburb areas with dream family houses, dogs, swimming pools, barbecue stuff, and so. And it is a dream, but it can also look like this. This is close to Prague, a suburb called Trnava. You can see a lot of roundabouts, but not so many spaces for people. So this is the main road. I can imagine you wouldn't be very happy to meet your friends here. And also we started to be very car dependent. it means you need a lot of space because according to the type of transport you are using, you need some space for you. And if it's a car, it's much bigger than if you are a pedestrian, cyclist, or you are using a public transport. And imagine you have some typology of the city, so you have one side of the street, but different generations have different needs for the streets. So you need to put everything together to the same street. And also the cars are much bigger in this time for the driver to be secure, but it's not very secure to be around the car if you are a pedestrian. Here you can probably recognize Charles Bridge. It's a way how to cross the river for 100,000 people a day. And this is how it could look like if it's 100,000 people a day in car. I have a quick question for you, and because we say sitting as a new smoking, I would like to ask you, please stand up, who used to play outside during childhood. And please stay standing, who would be okay if your child would play outside the whole afternoon somewhere in the city. Okay, thank you. So we have an idea of 15-minute city, which is also very secure for children. It's a city where you have everything around 1.2 kilometer by walk from your home. Everything is in human scale. You feel secure there. You have a place for children for playing, talking, meeting your neighbors. You can go to a cafe or anywhere to a shop or something. So this is a city of future, or we consider it as a city of future. And also you need a good public transport in 15-minute city.
Yes, sometimes it's super complicated to make a good designed public space because, as you can see, there is a lot of needs what we want from the public space. So for me, it's the most important flexibility because the public space developed with their users. So every year it can be different because we have different needs. So sometimes it's really difficult to design it because sometimes our priority in something different, like a parking place and our supermarkets. So we are trying our best in public city office, and I think it also is important to feel safety and to feel free in the public space. And it's also really important to make livable streets because public space is not just the squares, it's not just the playgrounds or park, it's also the streets and everything what is included, like pedestrian crossing and so on. So most of the time we focus on it. Yes, and in Czech Republic we have many rules for designing public space. I will show you some crazy images how safety, for example, can looks like in Czech, like this red, white railing. It was really typical in last few years ago. or we have railing from Titanic movie. You can join it if you want. It's in Smíchov city. Yes, and sometimes public space is super complicated. You have to go up and down, and yeah, it's not comfortable always. Yeah, and another rule, we have to be quiet, and sometimes this stuff we have in public space, and it's really creepy, I guess. And we are really characteristic in temporary, temporary design in Czech, but in Czech is temporary is really often permanently. So it's not funny. So temporary design is good, but really for just a few years or for a few months, but not for another generation.
And imagine you have a street like this, very well paved, wide sidewalk, not so many parking spaces, trees for some shadow. And then you have all the requirements in the streets, and it starts to look like this. So in our office, we are trying to have a holistic approach, and we are trying to arrange streets so you have everything you need there, like infrastructure, a place for people, and all the elements. So you have all the streets well arranged, but then imagine you have around like 15 or 20 organizations, and they are managing some part of infrastructure. The other one has the property of some part of the street, and you need to agree with everybody. And I think it's very different in Prague because we don't have one mayor who is responsible for everything in the city. We have many organizations, and the responsibility is divided to these organizations. So we decided to create some strategic documents. Probably the most famous one and respected one is the Prague Design Public Space Design Manual, and I'll just show you a few principles we are using in this manual.
I just want to say we have to download the English version of our website, so if you want it, you can use it in your city.
So the first principle is you need to do a really wide sidewalk with zoning, so you have place for cafes. Then you have a place for walking and strolling and so, and then you have place for trees, benches, bicycle stands, etc. The second principle is you need to do a clearly arranged crossroad, so the pedestrians have transparent view and they also walk in a straight way. This is just an example of Charles Square crossroad before and after.
Sometimes this element takes more than 5 years in our city. It's kind of crazy.
Another principle, you need to have walkable, barrier-free, shady public transport station because it leads to regular use of public transport instead of cars. Of course, it's necessary to have separated bike lanes, and it means you need to have really safe bike lanes for everybody, for children, for people on shared bikes, and not only for fast bicycle guys. And probably one of the most important and the hard one is creating a parking politics, because it's necessary to have a place for trees and people, and so they are not pushed by cars. Just an example of, I think, Austrian parking. Also quality of materials like paving and also street furniture. It creates a better public space and people feel more like in a more like at home. Yeah, example of Václav Square. And in the end, you need to consider all of the elements in the street like something you see and you feel. So all of the infrastructure elements, all of the commercial should be as clear as is possible. And the last example of Charles Square, this is how it looks like now, and this is how it used to look like before. Okay, I'll pass it to Bara.
Okay. So what is really necessary to have in public space are also the trees and the greenery. I'm the landscape architect in the public space office, so I will tell you something about it. In the future or in the past, in the past, the green infrastructure was something different than today. It was more like culture and social function. People met in parks and relax here. Now, today's function is almost the same, but we also recognize that the green infrastructure is also necessary element of adaptation, city adaptation for climate change. So I'm sure that every one of you hear about the urban heat island. It's a really often problem every summertime when in the city center is much higher temperature than around the city. The consequence can be that in the city is less of rainfall. So it's a really big problem, and the reason is that we change the green spaces and make hard
Pavement.
Yes, the pavement and the building and everything change from the green to gray. So I'm still talking about green infrastructure. I will just quick say what is it. It's a set of nature-based and technical measures that connect the rainfall and runoff, and it's good for microclimate of the place of the city and other ecosystem services. Ecosystem services means what green bring to people who lives in the area. Yeah, really typical picture. The green infrastructure is super important for comfortable living in the city. In the shadow, you feel better. In the summertime, the temperature can be like I think more than 10 degrees lower when you are close to trees. So. and of course trees clean the air and make the place quiet and so on. Yes, this is a great example how in Sweden work with the rainwater. This is the line close the road, and we are trying to work with local and natural water cycle in the city. Trees in the city are always in big problem because they don't have enough water, as I said. They don't have enough oxygen around the roots. And also they don't have enough root space because, yeah, you know, because why? Yeah, this is a scary photo of example of bed planting. I think this is one of the most popular view to Prague Castle, and you can see the torso of Tilia trees. It's bad, but in a few years it will change, so don't worry about it. Yeah, and this is how it looks like a tree when he wants to catch some water or oxygen. So, unbelievable power. Yes. I'm not sure who is from the Prague right now, but this plant bed is super popular. It was also in the Smíchov city. It was some project from municipality, and it doesn't work for the trees because the trees can't grow well in this crazy stuff. So the people use their own imagination, and that this is perfect for me. Yeah, our main aim is to make city more like the sponge, because we have many ways how to work with the water in the city: green roofs, rain gardens, wetland, and so on. Sometimes we are just scared from it because it's another element and we are not sure how it works, but it's good. In 2017, I guess, started cooperation with Swedish studio of landscape architecture, Edge. They are leaders in blue, green, grey infrastructure. We learn a lot from them, and this brochure or this manual was made. This unique system is based on an open base layer and structural substrate of the stone that allows the rainwater to reach the roots, and it worked well. We have few realization in Prague already, and this is absolutely genius because the stones are without zero fraction, so the trees can breathe and the water can flow to the root system. This is how it looks like. Yes, and this is Smetanovo nábřeží. We already seen it, and this is good example how plant the trees in the city. The whole system is connected, so the roots can touch each other. And maybe you know the project around the Prague Museum. There was a used system with these root boxes. It's also good, but it's much more expensive than the Swedish system. So, but we have a choice. It depends on the place where we design. And yeah, these boxes were also used in the main square Václavské náměstí. And I'm manager of following revitalization of Karlovo náměstí, Charles Square, and we are preparing really special project with water management and with management plan, which is really important for the park in following years. So that's it for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the... Okay, thank you for this presentation. And the third one on a similar topic will follow shortly, but see you back after a small break of 5 minutes.